somebody cuts off your clitoris and there's no anesthesia. It's a very terrifying experience.
How do you take a horrifying, traumatising event and turn it into something that profoundly changes lives? This is Kakenya Nataya, and she's a Maasai woman from Kenya, where a whopping 78% of women have been circumcised, most by the age of 15. Only 11% of the girls have a secondary education, and 90% are married off before they turn 18. Kakenya decided to do something different. She made a bargain at the age of 7 that would see her become the first ever Maasai woman to have a PhD, a deal that would put her in the United Nations. But what she did next, that is what makes her truly exceptional.
I was born and raised in a small village in southwestern Kenya. No running water, no paved roads, no electricity. My earliest memory is of taking care of the cows and going to the river to collect water, washing my little siblings and cooking for them. And women don't rest. We just go, go, go.
Yeah. And what was the role your dad played? Because he wasn't around very much, was he, as a policeman?
My dad was not around. He came home maybe once a year. And our culture has that men, they're kind of the kings. They just sit there and command. And the memories of my dad coming home were never good memories. He was very abusive to my mother. He often beat her, and it was hard to see that as a young girl. He really didn't care who we are.
One of the things that you're fighting to change is something that's not well understood in Australia, and that's female genital mutilation. In your culture, most girls by the age of 12, 13 have had it done. Is that a reasonable assessment?
Yes, so female genital cutting in my culture is seen as a rite of passage to womanhood. So all women, all girls, they have to go through this, and it happened to me when I was 12 years old. It's a very terrifying experience because you know, somebody cuts off your clitoris and you are left, there's no anesthesia, it's really horrible. It's very traumatizing. There are no doctors or nurses that are supposed to give you medication. You're supposed to heal naturally, and you're not supposed to talk about the feeling that you felt, and you're not supposed to cry, because of course we are told as Maasai women we're supposed to be strong.
You're not supposed to cry?
Yeah, and we're talking about a 12-year-old who is not supposed to cry when somebody cuts off part of their body. We have the law, FGM is against the law in Kenya, but it's very inaccessible. It's like in a foreign place in the city, kept somewhere. Yeah. When I went through it, I knew that I never wanted any girl to go through what I went through. And somehow I knew that it was wrong. No girl should go through that.
You did a deal with your dad that you would go through it on the condition that you could go back to school.
Yes, so I was engaged when I was 5 years old. So I grew up knowing that I have a husband that was waiting to marry me when I reached puberty. My mother wanted me to go to school, and when I got to school, I really liked being in school, and I was inspired by teachers because of the way they dressed and the way they wear high-heel shoes. And as a young girl, I didn't have shoes then, so I didn't have many choices, and these teachers every day, they had a different dress, and I said, well, I want to be a teacher.
The outfits are incredible.
Exactly. And I approached my father and I told him that I can only go through this ritual if you let me go back to school. He was like shocked because no one ever has done that. And I had told him that I would run away. Of course, there's a stigma that would be associated with his name, the father of that, dirty girl, and the one who ran away. And then I think I went back to school so determined, really, to work hard and become a teacher.
So at some point you become the first Maasai woman to go get a PhD in the US?
Yes.
When you first landed in America, what was going through your head as you're looking around? Because I can imagine it's a huge cultural shock.
Getting on the plane from Nairobi was enough of a cultural shock, not knowing what to expect. And I came during winter, I had never seen snow in my life. I had never seen cold in my life, and that itself was enough shock. But the biggest one was the amount of food that was in the cafeteria. Like, really? Like, do we need all these options? I had access to the library. I had never seen so many books like that. Internet, really the whole world. The access of information, and I learned a lot.
Did you ever think about just never coming back?
No. I knew that as being the first woman to leave my village, that I had to come back. I had to, because I never wanted them to say, we educated one and she disappeared.
So you came back for a holiday, and a story you heard about a 12-year-old girl. Tell me what that story was.
A girl from my neighborhood went through the cut and got married. And I have never felt so helpless because I couldn't help her. The sorrow in her face, I didn't know what to do. And when I went back to the university, her face, her story was so real. It was like, you have to do something. I told my professor, I'm going to start a school for girls.
What changes in a town, in a village, when the girl's educated? How does it change the dynamic of that environment?
It's amazing that when a woman or a girl is given an opportunity, it's really not about her. It's about the people around her life. That one girl changing her family, but also changing her community. And real change is about impacting one person that impacts multiple. It's really a multiplying effect. You know, when we tell people send your daughter to school, they've never seen what an education does to a woman. It's like Greek, like they can understand it. You know, it's a different language. But if they see it, it actually does make a difference. We are all called into this world to make it a better place. And if we don't empower women, we will not leave this world the way in a better place.
Kekenya, it was lovely talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.